These are wolf puppies.
They sleep most of the day, and then the rest of it is either biting your brothers and sisters, playing with toys, or eating.
Just like dogs, but not exactly. When they grow up, one plays fetch and the other runs in packs and kills large animals.
They're not that different genetically, but they're different genetically in some very important ways. So how did a wolf that was living in the forest actually become a dog that was living in our homes?
Tens of thousands of years ago, some now extinct wolves evolved to be less fearful and more able to hang around humans and their delicious garbage. That meant more food, and those wolves had more puppies, which, like their parents, were less fearful, and so on, generation after generation, until those wolves became dogs. Geneticist Eleanor Carlson and evolutionary biologist Kathryn think that first step in dog evolution could have come from a shift in how wolf puppies developed. So, they went where the wolf pups are.
My name is Jacinthe Bouchard. I'm an animal behaviorist, and I'm the owner of Zoo Academy in Nicolette, Quebec. So it's a school where people come from all over the world to come and learn how to work with wild animals. We have foxes, beavers, deer, chipmunk, chicken, ducks, and multiple horses.
This spring, Bouchard also bred wolf pups, 2 litters born at the same time. What the scientists were interested in is how those wolf puppies get acclimated to people. Dogs do it easily. If people are around, dogs connect. That's what makes them dogs. With wolves, it's a lot of work for everyone.
So you have to be with them 24/7. And so that means sleeping with them, feeding them every 4 hours on the bottle.
Lord thinks that period when puppies learn about friends and family could be the key to differences between the two canids.
So in wolves, we know that they start to walk and explore at 2 weeks, which is 2 weeks earlier than in the dogs. Wolves start exploring the world while they're still blind and deaf.
So while wolves depend almost entirely on smell in the early days, dog puppies can see, hear, and smell during a critical period of socialization. That's when they're not afraid of new things. Lord devised a test to judge precisely when that period ends for puppies. It involves a new thing, or in science speak,
This is a novel object. We wanted to find something that they wouldn't accidentally get exposed to and that they wouldn't encounter in their normal lives.
They used bird scare rods, connected to a frisbee, connected to a mobile, connected to a tripod. Kind of a jiggly monster thing.
And so the whole situation needs to be novel, except we do put one familiar object in there with them. So if they want to avoid novelty, they can go there.
When the wolves showed fear of the new thing, that meant the end of their critical period. Like when a baby starts being afraid of strangers.
Definitely frightened of novelty, because at the beginning she was really showing a lot of fear behavior, sort of tucking her tail a little bit. But then she kind of got warmed up to it, got over it, and then she eventually went inside the circle there and explored the actual novelty, which means she hasn't reached this point that we're looking for at the end of the critical period, just the avoidance of novelty. So she's still exploring.
She's been good?
Yes, very good.
I'm so proud of her.
You got it.
Come here, Madame Boisvert.
We got you some toys.
Carlson is looking for the genetic backdrop to the change in behavior. She wants to know what genes become active or inactive to trigger the onset of fear. To find out, she needs to extract DNA from saliva.
You could chew on this instead.
We've got some good spit going on there.
Do you have one ready?
I do.
And then we rinse off the thing that the puppies have been chewing on to try and get the cells into the tube and get them processed as quickly as possible.
Then the scientists will use a new technique that allows them to see exactly where DNA is unwrapping to allow genes to turn on.
We think that if we compare what we see in the saliva of wolves and what we see in the saliva of dogs, we're going to see differences. That there's particular genes that are getting turned on and off, which will point us in the direction of how domestication happened, which would be really cool.
The research might go beyond cool. Gene activity that affects fear and sociability in dogs and wolves might well do the same thing in humans. It might help us.
That's our hope. These are behaviors that are also involved in psychiatric diseases, things like fear or anxiety. And I get to hang out with wolf pups, so it's kind of a bonus, I have to say. I'm totally okay with that.
No surprise there. hanging out with wolf puppies is a definite bonus.
Yeah, said the little Red Riding Hood. No, it's the grandma who got eaten, no?